bill. And again, I don't mean to be redundant, but Mayor Bloomberg has failed us. First, it was Congress that wasn't doing anything. Then we get Congress that's finally going to, Congress is going to finally vote on it, and Mayor Bloomberg turns his back on us. So,
shameful.
All your listeners, definitely, again, that number is 212-788-3000. They need to call into Michael Bloomberg's office.
Mr. Giles, in closing today, one, we're going to put a tab on our website to link to the Feel Good Foundation. We're going to make the Feel Good Foundation the real news charity. We're going to publicize this, and we want to have you back on very often from time to time to follow up on this travesty. We're going to stay on it, and it was...
That's what we need to do, Farron, and, you know, we need to keep it in, we need to keep it in the news. A lot of people, they remember us, you know, around the anniversaries, and then when the anniversary is over, you know, they forget about the responders. And it's people like yourself, Farron, and your network, and a couple of other people that keep it in the news. Because without keeping it in the news, the American people forget about it, and we just have to keep it going. And I would be, I'm humbled and honored to do your show, and I'll do it as often as you call me and ask me to. And I'll keep you folks updated on where we stand. But right now, the biggest thing that I can ask all your listeners is to please call Michael Bloomberg's office and flood that phone line Monday morning and tell him that he needs to turn his decision around and support 9/11 responders and support this bill.
Thank you very much, sir. We will be back in contact with you. And again, that is the feelgoodfoundation.org, and Phil is spelled F-E-A-L. And I want to thank you again for joining us, and we will have you back on soon.
And it's been my pleasure. And one correction, that's feelgoodfoundation.com, not .org. .com.
Okay, sorry, .com.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thank you.
God bless you, sir.
And God bless you, folks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're going to go to a break, and then we're going to come back. We're going to play one short clip that happened in the Congress this week, and then we're going to go to your phones. The phone number again is 336-998-9375. Let's talk about this bailout. Let's find out what the people have to say, because obviously our government doesn't represent us, the people, but we can still talk about it. I want to hear what's on your mind. We'll be back shortly. All right, we're back on the Real News here on 1400 WSIC, 1520 WDSL, and there's a couple of clips we want to play if we possibly can for the sake of time. This was in the House of Representatives, Brad Sherwin, Democrat from California. Go ahead and roll that, Ty.
From Ohio. The only way they can pass this bill is by creating and sustaining a panic atmosphere. That atmosphere is not justified. Many of us were told in private conversations that if we voted against this bill on Monday, that the sky would fall, the market would drop 2,000 or 3,000 points the first day, another couple thousand the second day, and a few members were even told that there would be martial law in America if we voted no. That's what I call fear-mongering. Unjustified. Proven wrong. We've got a week, we've got 2 weeks to write a good bill. The only way to pass a bad bill, keep the panic pressure on. Now, what has the Senate done to this bill?
And right after Brad Sherman, Michael Burgess from Republican 26th District of Texas also came on and stated that he was actually kicked out of numerous meetings that day, not allowed to represent his 820,000 constituents.
Isn't it amazing that we are here having to report that in the House of Representatives we had a representative saying they were under threat of martial law in America? Now, we can't make this stuff up. We're playing the clip straight from the House of Representatives. Again, we'd like to go to our phones now. If you'd like to call in and comment on the bailout, we would like to hear from you. 336-998-9375. If you're for it, if you're against it, if you would like to say how the economy is affecting you right now, if you would like to comment on how we have just been shown how our government does not represent we the people. All the polls that was shown on TV, by majority, the people did not want to have this bailout, and again, they passed it. They did not submit to the will of the people, and go to the Virginia Fox. We want to play the Virginia Fox clip and show what she had to say this week in the House of Representatives, because I have to commend her. She was trying to really represent we the people. But also this week in the news, Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin has blamed the irresponsibility of the U.S. financial system for the global crisis, and we want to discuss that. And again, the phone number is 336-998-9375 if you'd like to call in, and we're going to play the Virginia Fox clip here in just a second.
Time has expired. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from North Carolina rise?
Permission to address the House for 1 minute, Madam Speaker.
Without objection, the gentlewoman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There's a song, The Day the Music Died. I don't think it is too much of a stretch to say this may be the day America died. I'm not alone in feeling that what the Congress is about to do today is a very, very serious, consequential thing for this country. I want to quote from an article from Investors Business Daily today and submit it for the record, Madam Speaker. After years of faking it, the federal government has finally hit bottom, or depending on how you look at it, ascended to its level of maximum destructive incompetence. Through its power over education and communications, Washington already influences the creation and dissemination of knowledge. Once it takes over the financial industry, nothing will be left standing in the way of the federal government's dominance. States and localities are mere administrative units and dispersing agents for Washington. What government has won its war against religion, sidelining churches. American capitalism is not just an economic theory, it's a way of life where rewards are based on achievement, not identity or class, and is therefore inextricably bound up with the individual freedom and American exceptionalism. I yield back.
Isn't that amazing what she just said? That was Virginia Fox on the floor of the House of Representatives before the vote earlier this week. And if you'd like to call in, 336-998-9375 with what's occurred this past week. I think a lot of people would like to call in and voice their opinions on the economic bailout. And as I had started saying, Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin had blamed the irresponsibility of the U.S. financial system for the global economic crisis. Putin told a government meeting on Wednesday that the U.S. inability to deal with the financial crisis. We've got a phone call from one of our listeners. Let's go. Everything happening now in the economic and financial sphere began in the United States. This is a real crisis that all of us are facing, Putin said. The Russian official did not blame the crisis on specific individuals, but on the whole system. And what is really sad is that we see an inability to take appropriate decisions. This is no longer irresponsibility on the part of some individuals, but the irresponsibility of the whole system, which, as you know, had pretensions to global leadership, Putin said. Putin's remarks came after the U.S. House of Representatives on Monday rejected a $700 billion Wall Street bailout plan, allegedly directed at preventing the economy from slumping into deep recession. The U.S. financial crisis, which began after the housing market slumped, has sent shockwaves across the EU zone, bringing down a number of investment banks and forcing unprecedented takeovers across the continent. According to the Associated Free Press, the benchmark index of Russia's RTS stock market has fallen by more than 50% since May, a drop analysts say has in part been caused by the global credit crunch. So